their head to be out of the game. While they're still having this kind of momentum, even when you're losing, you still have that momentum, you still have that build-up. I feel like they really want to get into the game as fast as possible so that their hands don't start getting cold. Their ideas, their reflexes, their instincts, they're still on point. And right now, let's go into the game. Potentially the last game between RRQ going up against Onic Philippines. And right now, we are looking at, I want to see personally, Beloyski on this Natalia pick.
Yeah, and not just that, but Onic Philippines, they've actually drafted 4 magical damage heroes here. So it is going to be very easy for your Uranus to itemize, especially early on with the Oracle, perhaps just picked up instantly.
Yep, but that is a difficult lineup, matchup given that it is an Esmeralda. So the shields are going to be eaten up quickly. Oh, look at this. Beloyski not letting Sin play.
Same as game number 1,
yes.
Except instead of Selena, now is the Natalia having an assassin roamer, just making sure that Zin doesn't have a good time farming. And if Zin doesn't have a good time farming, he is more prone to mistakes.
Very prone to mistakes. You know, mistakes, they don't even need Jin to make a mistake. All they need to do is zone him completely, and he won't even be a part of the game. He won't even come to the team fights, because if he's that behind, there's nothing they can do. Again, Beloyski already making his way to the top side. Vin will be able to catch him in his tracks. But again, the damage has been done. The Scoopro will not be able to roam anywhere except for that top side to give Sin some room to play.
I have an interesting thesis statement, and I'm not sure if it's going to pan out well in the duration of this match. I think picking up the Kufra here for Vin later on in the draft is a clear, I don't know, preemptive counter to the Natalia. In the late game, when things get a little hairy, it's a good way to block the softies on the side of RRQ Hoshi. It's not there yet, but having picked it up before the Natalia showed up is a great way to kind of stop that even before it showed up. Because again, RRQ Hoshi, coach actually knows that Beloyski has this. So maybe, just maybe, that was there to make it a hard stop.
Absolutely, but look at this. RRQ is actually rotated. R7 is going to be caught in a bad situation. Beloyski coming point down when able to connect, but it is going to be instantly from R7 the dash to get away. Lancelot already hitting onto this turtle. The setup is there for the side of RRQ. Let's see if they commit onto it. Clay is going to be bursted down. Kyrie goes in for the entropy, is able to get some damage onto him, but it's going to be Clay going back in onto Beloyski. Vin now rotating and joining in. Beloyski has nowhere to go, and Albert picks up first blood. That is 1-0 to the Indonesian runners-up.
Yeah, right now, this is, well, again, Natalia, it doesn't mind, she's okay if she dies on early on, because that's not a part of her deal. She's not going to farm. She's just going to really make sure that the side of RRQ Hoshi, everyone is accounted for. She knows where everyone is. The way that Natalia plays, the way that Selena plays, kind of the same, except that in terms of mechanics, the things that they want to do. But right now, Beloyski seeing out Albert over there. On the side of Onic Philippines, have a slight gold lead over here. But right now, no aggression coming in from either of these teams.
Yeah, and actually Zin has been able to be relatively safe in that top side. Wasn't able to be bullied as hard as the Selena. So right now it's actually really good for RRQ, as they have put onto the objectives, put their aggression onto the objectives. We'll be able to get it, but Marky and Kyrie already rotating to the top side using the entropy and the Zaman for to Beloyski as well. It is going to be straight. A whole turret in the 3rd minute for the turtle. Not just yet though, because Vin and Clay have made their way to the top side. The diversion doing work already.
They shredded that turret.
Yeah, that's the... Oh, wait a minute. Kyrie needs to be careful. Entropy is not available for him. He's going to be jumping in. That's going to be the charge man able to connect onto him. That is going to be Clay. Still alive, but the inside picks him off. Beloyski will be able to pick up that kill as Vin comes back into Hatred. And now it is just a 1-for-1 on that top side. The jungler for the mid laner.
4 minutes in, Beloyski is going to continue his duty, his sworn duty, to make sure that Sin doesn't play. But one thing I may say, RRQ Hoshi, so far, that investment in the Kufra by Vin is paying off.
Very much so, yeah. And this is the thing. RRQ, they've actually able to turn around the gold leads. And 98 to them, even though it's just a small little gold lead, they can snowball from this. Vin already going aggressively onto Beloyski. Clay looking for the play right now, as Beloyski will be able to get some help from Hatred. And in that top side, it is still a very fair match. Sin still able to clear the waves without losing. But look at that! RRQ jumps in, and that's the Marky called out. That is a diversion you want. That is a diversion you need. RRQ gets one off the board one more time.
Is that the kind of wow you're looking for there, Leo? But right now, an engage onto R7. R7 should be fine over here, but right now, RRQ Hoshi, they are, again, we were talking about his Zin is actually doing fine. His lane, not so, but him as a player, Aldos as a hero, is doing quite okay.
Oh, Clay is in the midst of it all. It's going to be the time for coming in, and that's going to be Hatred jumping in, but look at the cancel! Clay survives with one, and Hatred will be able to get away, but Albert! He goes in for the killing spree under the tier 2.
A game late wherein I asked for these amazing plays from Clay's Loyi, but I'll take it now. And ladies and gentlemen, if y'all can't hear it, the RRQ boys are actually shouting. This is the RRQ that we know and love, and it took 3 games, but right now they're feeling it. Let's see that replay one more time. How did Clay set this up?
Yeah, right now looking back at this replay, Ed Engage coming in from the side of Onic, but again, Vin on this Kufra is making work, and this is why going up against the Louis is very, very dangerous, because we do have to remember every single time that she throws out a dispersion at first kill, she will get a shield every single time that it changes color when it connects to an enemy hero. So from the side of Arkihoshi, 5 kills to 1. They are looking much better than game number 1, and this just shows how much 5 minutes means to a world-class team, because even though you're losing 2 games, but right now let's look at this play. Moving over at Marky.
Oh my god.
We jumped the gun. We jumped the gun.
Man. That was really close. With Larson going for the re-engage all the way to 2 members. But he's going to be the one bursting down, as that's going to be the mega kill. Albert going for Marky. The Force won't save you now, but maybe it will. Marky outplays Albert. And Beloyski, he's going to go to the backside, but Sin's going to be able to pick up a kill right now. Flicker's on, but Kyrie, he's right there. Sin has nowhere to go, and he's going to be picked up. And not for now, right now, it is going to be Kyrie picking it up. 2 for 2 on the board. Beloyski jumping onto Clay, but it's going to be Vin coming in to save the day. Clay, will he be able to connect? Nope. Last second, 2 for 2.
Right now in this game, RRQ Hoshi, they're looking so much more harder. From the side of Onic Philippines, they are playing from behind. However, in terms of scaling, they still have scaling. They have the Nathan as well as the Harry. But like you said, they're all magic damage. So from the side of RRQ Hoshi, they can itemize this very, very well. And I'm looking at R7. I feel like he can be a nuisance after getting 2 items. After he has his Oracle, after he has his Radiant Armor, I feel like it should be no problem for him to scout out for everyone from the side of Onic Philippines. And this first pick, Uranus, is working out just because, like we said, Arkiyoshi, they need to win the side lanes. As long as the side lanes are won, Onic Philippines, you can't play the banana split, just be an apple.
And it's at the point wherein it's less denying Onic Philippines, it's just getting that blunt object that R7 needs to force through the timing, to be able to make sure that, again, the banana split doesn't happen. And so far, 2 games in a row, Onic PH have shocked the system. Onic PH have surprised all of us. And right now, they're bearing down on a Xin.
4-man collapse onto Xin. He has nowhere to go, but that is 4 ultimates popped in for Onic PH. RRQ will be able to look for objectives all the way on the other side of the map, taking the turtle and also getting a lot of pressure done onto the top side, but now Clay goes onto Dolarski with the help of Vin. Albert going in for the Phantom Execution, almost finding Beloyski, but he's still able to just rotate and juke him away, as Albert will just choose to go for the orange buff. Beloyski will roam free.
Right now, Onic Philippines, a little bit low in terms of goal. I'm looking at Kyrie on this Nathan. When can he actually make the plays? And it's actually very difficult because, again, he's fighting against Albert on this Lancelot, who's going to help him peel away when this Aldous is going to go crazy in the backlines. And I'm not too sure. Leo, do you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, that's a fair assessment, and that is a legitimate question to ask, because Onic PH, it looks like they're all offense, no defense. They need to play from ahead here, and they need to catch Arkihoshi off guard. But so far, in this 9-minute game, 8 minutes, 40 seconds, it seems to be the other way around. Clay gets blasted just like that.
Beautiful play by Beloyski right there, but he's going to get picked off instantly just by 1 Thorn Rose, but it is worth it for Onic. That is a roamer for the price of their mid laner. Onic Philippines now still on the board, 8-5 with 2 turrets onto their name.
There's the question again. At some point, how can Beloyski keep continuing doing this? At some point, like the players on the side of Arkihoshi, if say this does go the distance, maybe past 16, 17 minutes, then Natalia will just be literally walking ward. It's just vision. You can use silence, yes, but who are you there to burst? Clay? Vin's gonna be on you, and then everyone else will be able to just weave through your softies like Kyrie and Marky. So, yeah, maybe Dolarski. That is one solid answer. Maybe Dolarski, but he should be dealing with R7. So, again, That's checkmate almost. Our Kyoshi just gonna
Oh.
try to outplay. Look at this.
Oh, look at that. Vin goes in for the Times Revenge. He's going to be Zin joining in the team fight right now, but no collapse just as of now. No commitment from RRQ. They saw hatred, but very, very well timed recall there will be able to ensure his safety. RRQ now looks for the turn in the mid lane. Unfortunately, will not commit to it. Vindo will be able to spot Beloyski in that bush. He finally notices the patterns in which how Beloyski plays, and it might be detrimental to this game.
Yeah, I think Philippines, they are playing a very risky draft because they have a very tight window of executing their win condition. But right now, again, on the Philippines, they are good. Right now, I'm looking at them. If they can pull off a Navi, looking like they're about to lose, making Arakihoshi go into their own base, win a couple of team fights, and then capitalizing that by pushing all the way through, try to get a lot in terms of the...
Onic.
Okay, Onic, there we go.
Oh, but look at Zin. He's actually really playing this well. He's buying so much time right now, and he's going to be able to jump back onto Kyrie, looking for some kills on the board, but he's going to be bursted instantly right here with a diversion pop. It is going to be the Loyi trying to claim something here, maybe even try to stop the trades from happening, but RRQ, they're going to simply just take the trade. You put all your resources to the bottom side, we're going to go for the Lord, and that is the Lord taken. Now, items up and ready.
Looking at the itemization right now, Marky is looking pretty strong. I feel like he should really focus on getting the concentrated energy, but right now, Belarski going forward, not getting anything. Hatred on this. Farsa, only one death so far.
Oh. Let's see. Oh, Albert almost gets one shotted by the side of Onic Philippines, but Vin is going to go for the re-engage onto Delarski. R7 gets bursted down, but that is what he wants. Just wasting the abilities, the resources from Onic Philippines onto him as he gets some pressure on that top side. RRQ needs to rebuild right now. The Lord was slain so fast. Beautiful.
This is shades of game 2, wherein clearly RQ Hoshi were in control and Onic PH found an out. But this is way worse now. This is serious business. RQ Hoshi presenting such a threat. They've been finding Onic PH more and more now with those diversions from Clay. So they're using their learnings from game number 2, going into game number 3. And so far, the weird first phase of their draft is paying off because it seems to be the right amount of just sustain and peel for Onic PH to think, can we commit this kind of gameplay? Can we keep trading this way? Because eventually, Sin's going to catch up. This is what they were lacking from their lineup in game number 2.
Oh man, this is just the battle of macro at this point. But Onic Philippines, with this draft, they have very good high ground. Natan, Harith, and that Farsa with the help of the front line of Esmeralda. It is a huge threat at this point. 4.5 thousand gold lead for RRQ, but does it mean a lot?
Right now, I'm looking at Onic Philippines, and the reason why I'm a little bit worried is they do not have this comeback mechanic on their side. At least it's not easily acceptable. Right now, Beloyski, he's going to get targeted out. He's going to go down, and this is the problem. No one can deal with the damage coming out from RQ Hoshi.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. It is going to be the Thorn Rose used up by Albert, taking Kyrie, forcing him to use the entropy as they keep on pushing in that top side. Meanwhile, Zin, he has been just rolling. Look, they've given him the orange buff and the purple buff. He's fully stacking it in right now, and the later the game goes, the harder this guy will hit.
Yeah, and the thing is, Albert's been taking Kyrie's buff, so, he doesn't mind. It's like, Kyrie, can I have this? And, well, never mind, Kyrie, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, it's more for RQ Hoshi, and can I just say how perfect the hero is for the situation right now for Zin? He's the kind of player that gets in your head, and the fact that he just pops the contract fate, and you're like, oh, where's he going, and then he just comes in such a monster. He's going to wreck you with one punch. Essentially, that's what he does, and I love that now he's found that again. See, this is what he's doing. He's looking.
Yeah, he is looking, man. Just that, honestly, the pressure alone after popping that ultimate, you can see everyone on the map. You want to go for something, and Onic, they instantly just group up. They're like, oh, all right, you're ulting. We need to group up. We need to stop doing this. But again, very good defense.
If they group up, then it's going to be the low yi. So whether you're alone, whether you're grouping up, RQ Hoshi has your number. And yeah, RQ Hoshi looks like this could be checkmate.
Maybe, man, but honestly, the high ground is going to play a huge factor. They have all these heroes that are just so good at wave clear. RQ will always be always relying on the Lord if they want to go for some siege.
Look at this. Beloyski going to walk right into Vin again and R7. It's so hard to be Beloyski right now. He's sitting at 2-5-2. The only real thing he can hope for is to get an execute done good, and nothing is good for him. Look, it's difficult.
Oh, he actually baited a lot of ultimates there. 3, actually 5 ultimates. All of them using the ultimate marquee, dashing with the Zaman Force, unable to get anything, as that is literally the best moment to waste something on. It is 2 seconds left until the Enhanced Lord comes in, and RRQ, they want to set up for it. But look at how they're positioning themselves. They're actually not positioning themselves for the Lord. They put their focus onto the purple buff first, not giving Onic a chance to come back to take any of their resources.
But the thing is, I don't think Nathan really needs that purple buff as of right now, because what he really needs is just to survive and having enough space for him to hit his superposition, because I believe that he has the damage. Right now, Vin, is he going to engage on the Larsky?
Yeah, he is. He's going to go in, and that's going to be a lot of damage placed onto him, but instant disengage from RRQ. Nowhere commitment. They know that Xin has that bottom side of the map controlled, so all they need to do is wait. They don't need to take any of the crazy risks that they have taken to get to this lead.
So far, Onic PH, they understand the dynamic between them and RQ Hoshi. They know that they have their backs against the wall. They know that they cannot force out anything. And instead, they decide that they are going to go for the defense here, concede the Lord second time in this 15-minute bout, giving RQ Hoshi about an 8K gold lead.
Oh, let's see what happens. Oh, right away, Beloisky gets picked off, and this might be huge. This might be the time for RRQ to keep on going into the enemy base. Maybe even look for some crazy engages with a diversion. Crazy pickoffs all across the board. What do you think?
That's all they do, and that's all they've been doing. They don't even need to, honestly. RQ Hoshi, sometimes the random Onic PH member, like let's say Beloisky or Dolarski, will walk in and get picked off. They can do that. They can afford to do that. And then now Sin, I think Sin is ready. Sin has built up a solid arsenal. Few stacks given from their side of the map, and look at this, they're already going for the siege, 2 lanes.
Let's see whether the siege can pay off. It is already them using a lot of their abilities from the side of Onic Philippines. Let's see if they can make it work. R7 taking a whole lot of damage in the bottom side. Finn going to be able to get the catch onto Glorsky as he goes in for a re-engage. But look at Clay, he gets 2 members off the board. RRQ still able to defend right now, still able to go back away, but Marky, he does just so much damage on the Zaman Force, jumping back and forth, dealing some damage, but yes, RRQ choose to back away. They got the 2 inhibitors, don't want to go for anything crazy, but look at the fight, what's happening right now? It's the fight happening all the way. Beloisky gets a pick off, but we didn't see it, and R7 gets taken down as well. Onic Philippines now on the push.
That was a Natalia play. You didn't see that, right?
No, not at all.
Natalia.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It was a sleight of hand. It was distraction play.
Yeah, right now, Onic Philippines looks like this is their win condition. They're doing the Navi. They're making RQ Hoshi come into their base, and we talked about it from the side of RQ. They don't have a lot of range, so when they have to commit, they have to use their own bodies as tools to dish out the damage.
Oh, wait a minute. Vin goes in very aggressively. Only himself right now, as Kyrie goes in for the entropy, dealing a lot of damage onto him, but he's still so tanky. He can take a lot of damage, but not for long. The longer this goes, it is going to be much easier to get him down. Killing speed picked up, but Albert gets a pick off onto Beloisky on the other side. So at least they are trading something, and there is no neutral objective for Onic Philippines, but it is slowly but surely them coming back in this game.
This is what's so scary when these teams get any kind of advantage. Just one kill, just one turret, just one anything. They will transfer into something big. Right now, Onic Philippines, instead of staying in their own base, they can actually go out. They can roam. They can start looking into the jungle. And it is coming up from that Beloisky play. Beloisky right now already got the Blade of Despair.
Oh.
So if any from the side of RQ Hoshi is alone, maybe except for the side of R7 or Zin, they can actually kill them.
That's not so bad, actually. Beloisky's eating okay in this game, despite being at 4-7-2. So yeah, I may have to take my words back, because there is something Beloisky can do. He can clean up what Onic PH puts down.
Yeah, Dolarski goes in very aggressively, and this might be the damage coming in. Vince able to go back to the backside. Oh, no! Tyrant's Revenge is not going to be able to connect onto anyone. A major mistake on that side, and that is Onic Philippines still able to breathe. That could have been so good if he got Hatred and Dolarski.
They're still going. To be fair, it was 2 misses, 2 cancels, if I may, because Hatred had to call off the feathered airstrike almost immediately as well, as soon as he saw Vin.
No, honestly, that was good news, bad news. Good news, Vin. I stopped the... Oh, okay, what's the bad news?
Nothing.
Yeah, like, we didn't see that. We didn't see that.
We didn't see that. We didn't see that at all.
That was the Natalia play. We didn't see that. It was a different part of the map.
Yeah, but honestly, those risky plays, that is what is going to get them the win. Because if they don't do that, if you don't take the risks, right? The thing is, he tried to predict where the Farsa was going to go because Farsa had flicker. He expected Farsa to flicker backwards, and then he flickered as well. But again, it's going to be Voloisky targeted right now. Zin goes in, and that's going to be Clay picking up the kill. Most probably as Voloisky tries his best to run away. Finally gets the kill, and RRQ gets the 1-for-0 once more in the 19th minute of the game. About to be the 20th. Albert starts this Lord, and RRQ will have full pressure. Maybe not even a contest from the side of Onic.
So far, still 2 Lords on the side of RRQ Hoshi, and the gold lead is shrank at 6K.
The point I was trying to make was, I don't know why Beloyski tried to go on Sin. I don't know why he tried to cut the wave. Right now, looking at the engagement coming in from the side of Arkeoshi.
Yeah, look at that. Diversion is able to bring them all the way to the backside. Marky is going to be able to go there, but Clay is going to be able to use the winner's truncheon. Well timed by Marky to be able to get the kill, but it is going to be RRQ on the all-out back away. An Onic fight, It happens again, and that is RRQ unable to use that enhanced Lord to get more on the board. Too greedy.
Again, another case of good news, bad news. Good news, it's the perfect diversion. We caught him. They're in this bush. The bad news is, yeah, Kyrie's right outside and he's just blasting us.
This is a situation where you look like you're going to win, but you have to remember, for the side of Onic, they have a lot of damage, even though, again, they don't have a lot of winning crowd controls. But if you don't cash them, then that's going to be a problem. And again, I have to emphasize, Arkeoshi, they're using their own body. But right now, let's look at the views. We hit 3 million big viewers. Let's go. So close to beating the M2 record.
Tell 79,000 of your friends. Just do it.
No, the thing is, guys, it's PH Pride, it's Indo Pride, but in the end, it's Mobile Legends Pride. Everyone work together right now. It's time to tell everyone you know to watch this match because this is peak Mobile Legends from Onic Philippines and RRQ Hoshi. Let's break that record because guess what? We have some prizes waiting for all of you.
Yeah, and this is not even the grand finals. Every single time RRQ Hoshi's on, the crowd jumps in. The crowd wants to see them play. And I'm glad that right now, RRQ Hoshi, they are coming in and they're looking strong again. And nothing's going to happen. Because, again, the side of Onic Philippines, they're waiting on RRQ Hoshi to jump the gun and for them to actually catch the bullet and then fire back.
At this point, the gold lead doesn't even matter anymore. Everyone is at full items, right? So it is all going to be coming down to these catches. And Vin has been on point with the Tyrant's Rage, hasn't been on point with the Tyrant's Revenge.
We're approaching the point where even the roamers have full items.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, the mechanical skill cap is what's going to matter. And Vin jumping right on Zdarsky here, not going to mean much because there is a counter engage just waiting to happen.
Beautiful Purify by Dularsky to get out of that one.
Yeah, right now, again, this is a game where it's a test of nerves. It's a test of patience. Who loses their patience, they're going to show signs of weakness because we are at the 22-minute mark. And again, TikTok timers, they're going to come soon. So none of these players should die right now. Even the roamers, whenever someone dies, it's going to be a four-man for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I think it's at the point where TikTok timers are in full swing. As soon as we hit the 25-minute mark is when it starts to go down again and even out. So I think that's what these two teams understand. They're less gung-ho and less just eager to find these engagements because they know that even a single death on Vin means that they don't have the peeler, means they don't have the jump, the CC to cancel Hatred's Feathered Airstrike. Same with Onic PH. They know that Delarsky has to have the Purify to have a free go. So that's what this hesitation is all about. That's what this apprehension is dictating.
You know, there's a good and bad in the inhibitor turrets being taken down. The good thing is that you're always going to have those lanes pushed in, right? So Onic Philippines, basically, they're getting free farm every single time. But the bad thing is RRQ can keep on building these slow pushes very, very easily. Look, it's going to be a 2.5 wave in that bottom side. Look at how it's going. 2 cannons and even 1 more coming down. So it's going to be really hard for Onic to keep on micromanaging these waves. It's almost impossible to do that, especially considering that they have very strong side laners in the late game. Uranus and the Aldous who can basically not be killed at this point. It's going to be so hard, especially, again, that damage building again and again for Xin.
Yeah, but from inside of RRQ Hoshi, the lack of marksman, the lack of long-range physical damage does make it difficult for them to actually go and end the game. So they do need this Lord. So from the side of Onic as well as RRQ, this Lord is important. Onic should not try to contest, but if they somehow make a miracle play, then this is their game to win.
Oh, RRQ, they can't take this. They need to go for the setup once again. They can't just go for crazy fights all across the board. Delarski has the Purify. They do not want to re-engage all the way onto Delar, and that's good. They don't use the Time's Revenge. They only use it to zone him away, and the Enhanced Lord once more will be taken by RRQ. Diversion as well on to that top side. They might be looking for Beloyski. Zin! Oh my god! The confidence, the killer instinct coming in when it matters. As his Beloyski! Oh my god! He jukes RRQ! What was that? But maybe...
Whoa.
He's gonna get away with it!
Beloyski, baby!
Oh my god!
The green ghost step. He literally just went through his smoke and deceived two members of RRQ, two of the greatest players who have ever touched this beloved esport. Outplayed by a single man. Genius play by Beloyski.
But we're going to have to see how it happens now. Zin diving to the backside. It's going to be Delarski picks off instantly off the board right now. Still able to pick up the game, but it's going to be the side of Beloyski. Even though he's surviving the top side, he is going to be taken down. And this is not a fight. Marky! He goes over the Savant Force all the way to the backside. Still able to deal some damage with Zin. Is wreaking havoc. Immortality hasn't popped. And this is time for Onic to look for something. Winter Truncheon has been used by Zin. Is able to come away for now, but it's going to be Bin looking for the to engage. 72 seconds on the death timers. 25 minutes in, and Onic PH, they defend the base one more time.
Zin for Beloyski, yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, but right now, look at the timers. Beloyski, 37 seconds. Zin, 55. It's a good thing for the side of RRQ Hoshi that not a lot of members died. Zin died, that's unfortunate. But if 3 of them is a way that Onic could end this game. And right now, big viewers again.
We did it! We broke the M2 record in day 5 of the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, 3,107,000 is our peak viewers at this moment. 3,700 as well. Gold lead for RRQ as the game continues.
I'm speechless, but let's go. Right now, this game is hot. Again, this is not even the finals, but the fans have spoken. They like what they see, and we want to see more. But in order for that to happen, RRQ Hoshi, they need to find cracks in the side of Onic Philippines. They have to find ways to actually end the game. But right now, 26 minutes in, it's looking very difficult. They need the Lord, but what else do they need?
They need to make sure that the vision play from RRQ Hoshi is somehow sidestepped. Again, just how Beloyski did about 2 or 3 minutes ago. They need to find a way to deceive RRQ Hoshi because RRQ Hoshi has complete information.
He goes over the Time's Revenge, able to connect onto that, but it's going to be Clay picks up on the board. Zin now dealing some damage on the backside. It's going to be Hatred popping the Winner's Truncheon, but it's going to be Zin picking up the kill. Immortality once more. The peel is perfect. What was that? Hatred, are you kidding me? RRQ, they're on the back foot. They've lost the 2 core members that make this team, and Onic PH slowly but surely climbing back into the game.
I get it though. The 3.1 million people and counting are experiencing now. They are witness to a brand new level and kind of MLBB because just exactly what happened there. There's not enough time to understand and to comprehend because Onic PH are making their way through the map.
This is insane. Onic Philippines, they might be looking for the end right now. 30 seconds on the death timers. Marky going in. So much damage output for this man. But Vin goes back in with the Timer's Page. Able to deal some damage, but it's going to be the bouncing ball right now to get him out. Time's Revenge to get these time minutes, these seconds on to the board. But Onic Philippines, they keep on marching in. And this might be Albert picked off. He's trying to go away, but he's taken down. Onic Philippines! What time is it? It's Onic time! And the Vin trying to defend, but will they be able to? R7 comes in. The base is going to be targeted right now as Marky keeps on going in, but it's going to be R7 trying to deal. The minions clear. The minions, will he be able to do it? He has done it! What is this? Clay comes back to save the game, but it's not going to be enough. Onic goes to the semifinals of the upper brackets.
Upset after upset after upset, and days into the playoffs, we still have another one. An unexpected sweep from the runner-up from the Philippines. Check your clocks, because it's Onic time.
Holy moly, it is Onic time, baby.
Philippines today have showed up. They're like, hey, remember what happened in M2? Yeah, right now in M3, both Filipino teams won 3-0. I did not look at today's schedule and expect that we're going to have a clean sweep. But I guess this is M3. Maybe anything can happen. Everyone watching, prepare to be wrong, because you cannot predict anything that's going to happen. And right now, 3-0, RRQ, the Kings, have fallen to the low bracket.
6